So this is my virtual field trip presentation. I did mine on the Civil War. So the first thing I would do is activate students' prior knowledge and talk about what we already know about the Civil War. At this point, they should have already learned. Okay, I don't know what that means. At this point, they should have already learned when the Civil War was, why it occurred, and some of the major battles in the Civil War. Okay, that's not working. Oh. So the standard that I chose was contextualize South Carolina's experience during the Civil War. The objective is, given a writing prompt, the students will be able to describe the importance of Fort Sumter during the Civil War accurately. So I would engage my students by handing them out boarding passes and telling them that we're going to go on a flight. I would have them repeat the learning targets. This is something that my CT does that I really like. It just tells the students like what they're going to be learning and what they should be able to complete by the end of the day. So then we would go to this link. And this takes you straight to Fort Sumter's personal YouTube page. So the first thing that I would ask students to do is the flyover tour. And I would give students about 15 minutes to just kind of look around. It gives you like different tour options. It takes you through the museum. Some of the tours are 360 view, so they can interact with it and kind of turn the camera around and make them feel like they're really there. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So once they did that, students would have already gotten the brochure, which looks like this. So it gives them the standard, the objective, what we're going to be learning today, thinking about what we already know about the Civil War. Students would get this when they came in the classroom. I have QR codes for the YouTube link and as well as the articles that the students are going to read. I would ask them to write down any fun facts that they would have that they found out during the video portion where they went to Fort Sumter. Now I would have students get their social studies journal. Each of the students have one of these. It's kind of like an interactive notebook that they use in their social studies classroom. And then I would have them click on the article. So this is a little article. The students can listen to it or read it. So this just gives you more information about why Fort Sumter is important. The thing that I really liked about this is it gives you different pictures that they could look at, as well as it has a students section. So that was the kids. The student section gives you the same information that they would need to answer the writing prompt that they're going to do at the end. This just gives you a little more in-depth, and it'd be a little more challenging for my students who are higher level readers. So they can choose to do the kids article or the students article, whichever one they feel comfortable with, and they can listen to it. For my early finishers, there's a section on the brochure where they can draw a picture of Fort Sumter. And then I would introduce the writing prompt. So we would go over the rubric first and what's expected of them. So 3 or more supporting details. The writing prompt is describe why Fort Sumter is an important part of South Carolina Civil War history. So I would ask them to include 3 or more supporting details from what they learned from the article and the museum tour. I don't know why that just did that. So once they completed the writing prompt, I also put in my lesson plan, I gave students the option to either do a writing prompt. Some of my students really struggle with writing, so to answer the writing prompt, I also included a Flipgrid link in my PowerPoint or in my lesson plan that I can put in Google Classroom for my students. so they would have access to it. And then once the students finish the assignment, we will, there's the Flipgrid link. Once the students finish the assignment, we'll just kind of review and have the students discuss why Fort Sumter was important in South Carolina history. And then the last thing I would do, just to keep it consistent, is have the students repeat the learning target.